Welcome to Heart Riffing, a podcast by way of the heart. Here we explore what it means to reconnect with your essence and live from a place of personal freedom. If you're interested in learning more about our courses, mentoring and workshops, feel free to visit wayoftheheart.com.au. We're so glad you're here and we hope you enjoy the episode. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Heart Riffing, a podcast by way of the heart. We're back again.
Back again.
Yeah. And today I thought we'd do an episode that a couple of people have requested, actually. And this is signs that you're living out of your heart. So we talk a lot about, living from the heart, living way of the heart.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good opportunity to provide some clarity around what that actually looks like, what that feels like.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great.
Yeah.
5 signs you're living out of your heart.
Yes. We've thought about these ahead of time. We're not just
the framework
on the yeah. Get your pens out.
You get taller. You get prettier. You get facial hair. There are 3. Are we selling this to the women?
Yeah. Would you all like facial hair?
Yeah.
I know that I feel like I'm shaving my beard. Right?
Oh, there you go. Very intimate. Okay. So we're doing 5 signs. 5 signs that of living out of your heart. Great. Are you starting?
No.
I'm starting.
Because you're the Yoda. I'm the Padawan.
I think the first sign for me, and these are all going to be just me. The first sign for me is that I lost interest in playing a script for someone else. Mm-hmm. I lost interest in being anything for anyone else that was a role or was performative or was somehow fitting into some kind of social script. I just wasn't interested in doing that. Mm-hmm. A genuine disinterest, not even an angry disinterest, just an ambivalence. Like I don't want to fulfill that role.
Can you identify when that first happened?
Yes, I think so. I think even in my immediate family, I just felt like I was more interested in relationships with, say, my kids, mm-hmm. one-on-one, than I was in being a dad. It's like, okay, I don't even know what dad means.
Yeah.
I don't even know what dad you need or what dad I want to be. Yep. I just wanted to have a connection to my kids. Mm-hmm. Or, you could go the traditional role of the husband in a marriage. It's like, I don't care. What is the dynamic between Ange and I, between Bloss and Bella? That's all I care about. I don't really care. I care about turning up for that relationship as opposed to, well, this is what I need to do and this is what you need to do, and I don't care. Or even father-son roles. It's like I'm not even sure what my dad needs, but if there was some role or some performative thing that I was meant to step into, then I'm genuine, don't care about that. Mm-hmm. It all very much just becomes about the connection. Mm. Maybe that was a big shift for me too. I think the shift between, and people often say this, I want to be more part of the community. I have no desire to be part of a community. Because for me, so often community things have a construct. Mm-hmm. You're part of the fishing club and we all go fishing. I guess, okay, well, I suppose if you like fishing, that's good. Or you're part of the golf club and we all play competitive golf on Saturday. It's like, oh, no, if I could hit a ball and have a talk to someone, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the competition. Mm-hmm. I don't care about who's closest to the pin or who got the biggest fish. So for me, I lost interest in any kind of performative community-based thing, and I just care about the connection. Mm. I would say that was the first. That was the first thing, which means I've jettisoned a bunch of things. I don't identify as a Christian. People talk about the patriarchy. I don't care about being part of any of that. I don't identify as a big 6'4" white Anglo-Saxon man. I don't feel that energy. I don't identify with any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Bit random.
Mm. No, but it makes sense. This is like, there are certain roles that are impressed upon us that we have to perform. And if you're living from your heart space, you just become wildly disinterested in those.
Well, they just don't apply.
If it's not congruent.
They just don't apply.
Yeah.
I think a heart doesn't identify with the physicality.
Mm.
So I don't feel like a white Anglo-Saxon 6'4", 125 kilo dude. My heart doesn't identify with that. That's my that might be my physicality. That might be my physical presence. Okay, fine. I don't think my heart identifies with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, well, that, that's the vehicle I got to drive around in for the period of time that I'm here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think it's definitive of anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you could even say that I lost interest in, those 4 externally based energies, physical, emotional, mental, and egoic. It's interesting because, the renunciate religions who try to kind of eviscerate and destroy all of those or control all of those, I think when you get into your heart space, they're all there, but they're not the biggest thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the biggest deal, I think when you get into the heart space, that emotional regulation is easy. Not getting too carried away about your physicality is easy. Looking in like we did in the last episode, looking at your mind and saying, oh, it's just a story. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to really, it doesn't have to be reality. It's just a story I'm telling. Or looking at your ego needs and going, yeah, maybe you'll get that, maybe you won't. Obviously you want something, maybe that will happen, maybe it won't happen. And it all just starts to get a little bit looser in that space.
Yeah.
And so therefore the roles that have fixated on you being a thing in order to get a thing or leverage a thing, it's like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So it's interesting though, because it's sort of like, I feel like you let go of different parts of these at different times. Like I can clearly identify times where I became not interested in, say for school, for example, I just became not interested in playing the role of the North Shore, Northern Beaches girl.
Yeah.
I was just uninterested in that. But, there were a whole bunch of other things that I still subscribed to. And then throughout my life, I became uninterested in playing the role of, the good Christian or the straight person or the career person or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's almost like as I allowed myself to unfold, as the essence unfolds.
As heart
unfolds.
Essence and heart.
Yeah.
As your essence expressed through just living from your heart unfolds.
Then different things
just drop off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my experience. So even, you might, someone might say, well, that's all very well, but, in way of the heart, you're setting yourself up as the guru, the guy that everyone asks the questions of. Well, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ram Dass said that, there's always a role that you're playing, but it's whether Ram Dass sort of said, I think at one kind of event when there was a Buddhist monk up there and there was, I don't know, Timothy Leary and him and whoever it was. And he was the first one to call out and say, we're all playing a role. Like we're all sitting up the front and there's a bunch of people listening to us. We're still playing a role, right? And I think it was actually the Buddhist guy said, well, I'm not playing a role. It's like, no, we kind of are. I mean, you're wearing saffron robe and you're sitting with your legs crossed and you've got beads on. You're playing something. And I think, to admit that, I'm playing a role, like to admit that, but to sort of say, you hold that really loosely.
Yes.
I think when you live out of your heart, you're holding that really loosely. It's like, it's not like I'm a nobody. It's not like I evaporated. It's not like I don't exist. It's just, I'm just not that invested in it.
And that's a really important distinction too. Just because you have lost interest in being performative doesn't necessarily mean that
you don't show up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you do show up. It's just you don't show up with the same level of graspiness.
Yeah.
Around, I need people to recognize me as this.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be regarded, respected. I don't.
Because you're grounded in the in your essence, in who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't control that.
Yeah.
I think my heart knows I can't control what anyone else is doing, so it's not really interested in controlling that. I can't control you or Ange or anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I can stay, located in my own essence, as it were.
So I feel like a key question for people listening off the back of this is, where can you identify that you're performing and that's tiring you?
Yeah, where can you identify where you're performing and who's it for?
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the stands? Who's in the theatre seats?
Mm-hmm.
Why this role?
Mm-hmm.
Why the need to be this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who gave you the role? What was the narrative around why it was important?
Yeah. And what's being held up by it?
What's being held up by it? There's all these sort of sundry questions that you can ask off the back of that. But yeah, any observation that you're vaguely performative, and then you just go, okay, well, who's the performance for? What's the script? What are the rules? Why do you feel the need to play by those rules? All those questions are really elemental questions, challenging questions too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's number one.
Yeah.
What's number two?
You tell me.
I meant to tell you. Okay. For me, living out of my heart, and this is a bit of a random one, life becomes a little bit more humorous.
Oh, I like this one. That's true.
It does.
I love this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it just, once you kind of step outside of the external drama and the game that everyone's playing, you kind of just sit back and go, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at that. That's crazy. And you can kind of have a little bit of you're not being cynical or dismissive, but it's like, oh, okay. That's kind of giggle worthy.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at everyone. Look at us all conforming and playing out some kind of thing. I don't know what that is. And you kind of, career is a classic. I think my career would be a classic. I just look at it and go, when I was young, now that I step aside from it completely and have no aspirations for any kind of career, which is great
considering we're starting a
which is great considering all of my friends want to retire. That's all they talk about.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago, it's like, what's the next best thing in my career move? It's like, we invest so much into this mythical thing called a career only to get to like 50 and go, when can I get off the boat?
Yeah.
When can I retire? And someone says, not till you're 67. And people have this look of, anguish, the blood drains from the 67. God, I can't keep doing this shit till 67.
Hey, when I'm 67, it'll probably be like, you just keep working through to 90.
Well, yeah, mate, yeah, for sure, So, yeah, I think that's a great example. You kind of look at this whole, what's the next best move in my career? It's like,
it's a bit silly.
It's completely silly.
But I think this is because when you have that, when you're living from your heart space, kind of none of it really matters anyway. As in, like, you have this feeling that things are going to unfold the way that they're going to unfold.
Oh, completely.
So when you look at the seriousness that we operate with, and that the world operates with, you go, oh, come on.
Yeah, lighten up.
This is just a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, completely. Completely.
Politics is ridiculous. It's crazy.
Well,
but it always has been.
But it's also like a binary game. And so you go, okay, for or against, right, wrong, good, bad, black, white. Mm-hmm. We need harsher penalties for, hate speech. Well, then the opposition's going to come out and go, well, you tried to rush that through too quickly.
Yes.
Well, you like 2 weeks ago, you told me we weren't quick enough. Well, that's not the point, and then you just go, oh, it's a binary food fight. You know, I say I like chicken legs, and you go, no, chicken wings are much better. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you like chicken? No, I think pork.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, blimey. You just kind of see the stupidity or the nonsense.
Yeah. And we're talking about this on a macro scale, but I think this works on a micro as well. Like several times I've been in a miscommunication or a heated discussion with Ted, and we'll just get to a point where we'll literally stop and laugh and be like, this is so
stupid.
This is so dumb.
Yeah.
None of this actually matters.
Yeah.
Anyway, like it's small and it's silly.
So I think that's a really good sign that you're in your heart.
Yep.
You know, that you're connecting to your heart, because your heart's just going, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Have a look at this. And from the wisdom of your heart, you look at it and you go, this is silly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's a lovely, that feels like, if we ask what that feels like it feels like soothing. It feels like a cooling of the jets. You know, like it feels like all that internal fire, you just go, you know, it's like, you're like, really, come on, calm down, you know, like, and everything cools, you know, the whole temperature inside you drops, and a kind of a much more gentle, much more centered. That's what it feels like for me when I'm living out of my heart.
Yeah.
You know, others are getting more inflamed, and you find yourself getting cooler.
Yeah.
That's what the second one feels like for me.
And humor's very disarming. Like, you know,
superpower.
Yeah.
Humor's a superpower.
Yeah, I remember teaching, and I would have, you know, a particularly quiet, uptight group of students. A lot of them were ESL, so they didn't, or EALD, so they didn't feel comfortable with English yet. And 10 out of 10 times, as soon as you inject a little bit of humor into it, it's like the whole classroom just
releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a release, isn't it?
And even if, you know, there was still the language barrier there, the energy was, it's okay. It's not that serious.
How good.
We're all good.
And everyone just relaxes.
Yeah.
It's like a corporate breathing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I went and saw a comedian last week. Someone had spare tickets to go and see one of these Australian comedians. And his humour was, instead of bringing the release, his humour just heightened the tension in the room. And so his stuff was meant to be funny, but because it was so kind of, it was mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so instead of actually that, everyone feeling like this, everyone coming into a room and collectively laughing and releasing, it was like, no. And it never actually released. And so everyone, like, you could literally hear everyone walking out after the event just going like, that was not good.
Yeah.
That was not funny.
Yes.
You know, everyone goes for this kind of catharsis to have a good laugh at stuff, and they walk out just going, no, that was wrong.
Right.
You know, it was like went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, and a lot of what he was talking about was mean and just like, no, that's...
Is that humour though, or is that just cynicism?
Well, it wasn't humour. It was that cold cynicism, which never crossed probably the barrier that it never crossed is it never crossed the irony barrier. Irony, you know, where, you know, like when something's ironic, I don't even know how to define the word irony, but, you know, you kind of see an aspect of it that you didn't see before, and that allows a release.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, and all the hot air and all the stuff just gets released. His didn't do that, and it just go, okay, I'm not enjoying this at all.
Yeah, so maybe there's a worthwhile distinction to make, that humour is light and releasing in nature.
It can be ironic and it can be very serious, but it does. I think genuine humour allows you to see something from a different angle, and it brings a release. And I think the heart does exactly that. And that's why, you know, sometimes you can look at stuff from the heart we given some examples like career or how people fixate over, like you see people fixating over the craziest things, It could be referencing in an academic paper. You go, really? Really? You're taking 3 marks away because someone forgot the comma after they didn't do the Harvard referencing, or it could be, I find doctors hilarious. When you go and see a specialist and they go, can you please update your referral? It's like, you got a letter from a bloody GP before. Why do you need another one?
Yeah.
Well, because it's run out. Well, where did it run to? Like, how did it run out of the office? I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Well, they only last for 12 months. Well, wait a second. Is the letter still in your drawer, or after 12 months, does it biodegrade and disappear?
This is funny though.
It's all these bullshit rules. And you kind of just look at it and go, Heart just kind of looks at it and goes, whatever.
This is strange though, because just because you're able to operate with humour, because you're living from a heart space, doesn't mean that the people around you are.
No.
And that can be quite jarring, especially if they're really in it and they're really serious. And you're
because people are
having
really
a giggle.
People are really invested in this stuff, Like I did. Doctors are a classic for me. I went to the GP the other day, but when you book online, a short appointment is a 6-minute appointment, right? And it still costs an absurd amount of money. And a long appointment is 15 minutes. Like, okay.
Wild.
Right. So I rang up and I said, on your website, you can't book a short appointment. And they go, oh, yeah, we took that out. I go, why? Because everyone wants the cheaper appointment. And so we just find that we're getting backed up. So now you can only book online a long appointment. I go, well, I don't want a long appointment. I want a short one. She goes, okay, I'll put you in for a short one. So then I went into the doctor's surgery. I had the appointment. While I'm having the appointment, she gets a phone call from a specialist, right?
Yeah.
So she goes, I've got to take this call. I go, fine. So we sit there for 5 minutes while she takes the specialist call.
Yeah.
Then we do our stuff. And then I go out and the secretary charges me for a long appointment because she had a phone call in the middle of my appointment. And you could kind of really get indignant and pissed off about all of that, right? Because it's going to cost you some money. Or if in your heart, I think I just look at it and I just go, yeah, it's always going to be a long appointment. do you know what I mean? Like, it does. It doesn't matter how you try and do this. It's a long appointment. This sucker's coming through as a long appointment. So it's like, okay, I just had a long appointment. It was because she was on the phone, but hey.
Yeah, but you know what?
Book it up.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Long appointment.
Okay. So
it's that kind of mischief. Like it's that kind of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got not being interested in performing.
Yeah, the stepping out of roles and performative stuff.
Then we've got humour.
Well, I think it all gets a little bit lighter, and you just go, what we just said.
And then number 3.
Number 3 for me is I think that the heart is really, really good at being present. And I think being present brings a gravity and a depth to almost any moment. Because I don't think the heart is. I think heart energy is trying to engage in this moment, not projecting about what it can get in the next moment, not necessarily reflecting back to the last moment, but it's just sitting there going, I'm here, and maybe I could tease that out a little bit by saying that for me, my heart really has very little interest in reconciling stuff from the past.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
It's like, well, I think my heart just goes, well, it is what it is. Like we're not going back there to change that. I think my mind often wants to go back and reconfigure, open up the box of stories that it's created and maybe rewrite the narrative or maybe, put another spin on it or add some more data to it. my emotion can then get dragged with my mind back into ruminating about the past. Why didn't this happen, or why didn't that happen? My ego can get offended and go, well, why didn't I get this, or why didn't I get that, or why was this like this, or they should have done this, or they should have done that. The moment you get into your heart, it's almost like, well, whatever.
Yeah. It just wants to be present.
Just doesn't. It's just like, well, none of that happened. So it's almost like the heart is connected to just, this is what it is, like a reality, a fundamentum, where the fundamental thing is just the fundamental thing. This is where it is. This is what it is.
Yeah, I think this is a really easy one to practice too. Like, this is one of the more obvious things that you can curate, because you can set a timer to, I mean, I get up and I journal every day, and it's just a practice of being here in the present. And I try not to journal about something that's happened in the past or what I need to do for the day, but I try to just do a stream of consciousness. That's an easy discipline to have, to come back to that space. And we talk, people, meditation is a common practice that a lot of people do in order to become present. So I think this is an interesting one. Being present is it's challenging, but it's
well, I think it brings gravity. I think, you might be going to a function, and your ego and your mind wants to contrive how that's going to go, and your heart doesn't. Heart energy doesn't. It doesn't. For me, if I'm, say, going to a dinner party with neighbors or friends, I got a function on Sunday that I'm going to, and then I can go, well, who do I want to talk to, or I can contrive a whole lot of stuff about that event. I find my heart's completely disinterested in it. This is a party on the weekend for this person's birthday, and in my heart just goes, let's just kind of celebrate this guy. He's a great guy. Love this guy. And you just go, okay, just going to go and be present for this guy. What will that mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably will mean sitting around a table with cheese and bickies and a drink and listening to people tell stories. Will that be fun? Probably not, but who gives a shit? Let's just go, or maybe it'll be amazing, or your heart just kind of is open to all of that. Yeah, I think so. So it's that being present without contrivance, being present without, I think we're trying to do it in our podcasts. Yeah. It's like, what is the wisdom we're imparting? No, we're riffing. We're just being present with one another to share what comes up, as opposed to, we're communicating these 5,
key things, and
key
there's a
thoughts.
very serious structure. And
no, there's not. The heart doesn't do any of that sort of stuff.
And this is such a core part of Way of the Heart too, and a core part of how we want to operate and we've done this a lot in the building of Way of the Heart. If something's not working and we feel like we're pushing the river,
back away.
We just go, okay, cool. Let's be present. What's the energy of the moment actually telling us to do?
Pause.
Yeah.
Put a pause on it and just go, oh, okay, we don't need to press the river.
Yeah.
There's a block here, and the block is trying to communicate to us.
Yeah.
So it's being sensitive in the moment. It's not contriving. It's not overriding. Heart's not overriding the moment with an agenda, or with a need, or with a graspingness, So it feels like, presence for me feels like weightiness, turning up with substance. When I'm in my heart, I feel, this will sound funny, when I'm coming and living out of heart energy, I feel substantial. There's nothing to defend, because the thing has its own gravitas. I love this idea. When you live in your heart, you have your own orbit.
Yeah.
You're orbiting around your own essence, and it's not getting dragged off into some other orbit where you've got to contrive of how you're going to manage or cope that. You go, no, this is me. This is how we roll. And I'm just going to offer that. I'm just going to participate with others in and around that. I like that a lot. So that would be number 3. Okay. Number 4 for me would be that as I've looked at this in my own life, number 4 for me would be a fascination with nature.
Okay. This goes back to the Taoist roots.
It does, because I think what you learn from nature is that nature, the natural world, for me, is trying to help us understand that, yes, life is complex, but there is a way, there is a rhythm, there is a bass note, that it's all happening. And for me, that feels like surrendering to what is. A real desire to just go, let it be, just let it be, just allow what's going on, you know, and to have some confidence that despite the very small-minded bits of nonsense that happens in life, you know, maybe on a geopolitical level, or, you know, or even the disappointments in my life, you know, Ange and I, something might happen to Bloss and I, and we go, oh, that's not gone the way we wanted, and there could be some disappointment in that. And then when I get into my heart says, oh, you know that it's all just going to roll on.
Yeah.
You know that that's not fixed.
Yeah.
You know that there's movement, there's fluidity in this.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, okay, so we're not, so that negative event, or that wound, or that whatever it is, it's like, it's not permanent.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
Yeah. And that's the nature piece too. Like this idea that everything belongs, or everything just unfolds and continues to unfold. It's like the universal inhale, exhale.
Yeah.
Like the seasons turning over, or, you know, there's a tree that grows and a storm comes and it splits the tree in two, and, you know, or, you know, I don't know, the bird eats the worm. This terrible day for the worm, but it all kind of works in symbiosis. Completely. None of it is grasping, and it is brutal, but it's also uncontrived and in
it's
flow.
So random, because just the other day, like about 3 weeks ago, we have these massive Angophora trees, you know, they're huge. Like they're 3-4 stories high. They're just ginormous trees. The whole back of one of the Angophoras just cracked and fell on a house, and our neighbour had to move out because, you know, the better part of 60 tons of Angophora crushed their house, right? They were safe, they're okay, but their house is half their house is trashed. When the Angophora fell down, the arborists, as they were piecing it up, it took them like 4 days to piece it up and get rid of it with a massive 60-ton crane. They go, oh, there was three bees' nest in there, two European bee, one natural Australian bees. This tree was actually a habitat to 3 nests, right? And you think, oh, we've lost three bees' nests, you know, three kind of natural occurring bees' nests. And then out of nowhere, one of my neighbours just goes to a New Year's Eve party, which I was at.
Yeah.
And Dave and I are standing there, we're talking to this guy. We go, so what do you do? And he goes, oh, I'm a beekeeper. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, oh, look at the honey over there. You know, and he's bought like 15 jars of honey.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because he goes, yeah, because I've got like 37 litres of honey at home and I need to give some away. It's like, you've got a lot of honey, dude. He goes, yeah, no, I keep bees. We go, and then Dave, for whatever reason, Dave goes, oh, bees, that's interesting. No, I'm standing there and I go, bees, I want some of that free honey. You know, yeah. And he goes, oh yeah, the honey's really clear because I live in an urban area, and my bees, you know, they land on orange trees and gardenias and azaleas and camellias. But if you had a beehive in the bush, you know, you get really thick, dense honey because they land on gum trees and Australian natives, and so the honey's a lot more astringent, it's a lot thicker. And like Dave's just going like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, I'm driving up the driveway the other day, and right at the base of where the gum tree fell and we lost it, Dave's buying, he's gone and bought like 3 beehives.
Bees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just go, so random, you know, like, okay, we lost it and now we've got it back again.
Yeah.
You know, and you go, well, of course, Dave bought it back again. Yeah, I know, but he had to meet the beekeeping guy, which had to light a spark in him, which he had to connect to, and he then had to act on that. And it's all ridiculously serendipitous. It's all, there's actions of deliberation in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's deliberately gone out and bought a beehive. He's deliberately watched YouTube clips.
Yeah.
He's deliberately gone and got a whole bee suit and everything. And I think he's been stung about 7 or 8 times. So he's like, he's earning his stripes the hard way.
Yeah.
But we got our bees back.
Mm.
Yeah, they didn't. The tree fell down and they went away, and now they're back.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And this is that nature ebb and flow, right?
That's nature. Somehow nature has managed to put 3 hives back.
Yeah.
Where we lost 3 hives.
Yeah.
Okay, they work through human agency.
Yeah.
Humans are part of nature.
Yes. But it would work without human agency too. I mean, from a scientific perspective, we've gone through multiple mass extinctions that have wiped out most of life. Yep. I don't know if it's all. I'd have to get Ted to.
We'd have to talk to Ted.
Yeah. But, you know, but life's, you know, here we are.
Yeah. And so when I think you're in your heart, what happens for me is I think you start to become aware of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it starts to just be delightful. And it just feels like, a little voice in the back of your head that just goes, hey, it's all fine. Mm-hmm. It's all good. Mm-hmm. You know, doesn't matter. We'll sort this out. Mm-hmm. It'll be okay. So that's for me, number 4.
Okay. Number 5, last one.
Last one. I've noticed in me, since I've really cultivated living from my heart, just a real peace about death.
Okay.
Yeah, just like a I'm not going to say making friends with death, but just a real, I won't say delight. That's too big a word. Just an ability to think about my own mortality and the fact that I definitely will die. Bad news. I definitely will die. And then and I don't know when that will happen. No one does, right? But to contemplate that and to just go, yeah, that needs to happen. Am I okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. I don't know when that will happen. I don't know how that will happen. But there's a part of me that in my heart just goes, yeah, that's part of the adventure.
Was that a fear for you before?
I don't think it was ever. I don't know that it was ever a fear for me, but it definitely wasn't a comforting thought.
Yeah.
And I think this is a very comforting thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll bounce out of this.
Yeah. Because I wonder if this last one, because you said for you, it's a comfort in death, or it's a coming to peace with the idea of death. I wonder if that manifests differently for different people depending on what caused them discomfort.
Well, I think what death is, you know, and I think Ram Dass said it well. Ram Dass said that death is, for the ego, death is a tragedy. Mm-hmm. You know, because it spells the end of the ego. Mm-hmm. I think for essence, death is like, we're going to move out of this form at some point. We're going to relocate and it'll be okay. Mm-hmm. And so I think when you start to, and I don't think you feel that as like a logical thought. Like I've never formulated in my mind like that. It's not like a thought that I meditate on and then I get convinced of the truth of the thought. It's like, this must be real because I'm saying it's the truth.
You don't lie in bed and go, it's okay if I die, I'm fine.
No. It's just a genuine sense that death at some point is right there and it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know, it's okay to let it go. It's okay not to hold on so tight. It's okay to engage that process. So that's a really random one, but
that is a random one.
But it's a really nice one too.
Yeah.
Because it kind of just means
it's funny, like
no surprises.
Yeah,
right?
the other ones I get, and I understand this one logically too. Like death is inevitable, it's gonna happen. But I don't want to die early.
Well, that's the whole point.
I'm in my 30s and I have a beautiful life and a beautiful partner, and I want to stick around and stay enraptured with nature and doing this.
But I think what happens is, you know, the more and more you engage in your heart, the more you realize that's the whole realm anyway. Like it's never going to be any different.
You're always going to be doing this.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's all circling around the one axis, you know, of intimacy, connection. The heart is always circling around intimacy, connection, the enjoyment of form, you know, the acceptance of when form dissolves, because it does. You know, my mum's not here anymore. My sister's not here anymore. You know, my father-in-law's not here anymore. It does, like, yeah, they're not here, but there's a gentleness to all of that too. Yeah, they died, and it was hard when they died, and you know, you'll miss them in that sense. But then there's another part of you that just goes, yeah, that's the game. Like everything does this. Yeah, the trees the trees live, flourish, die. You know, and I think the closer you get to nature, you just go, yeah, that is the rhythm. You know, like we are. You know, you read all the wisdom literature. We're here for a blink.
Yeah,
it's extraordinarily fragile. It's extraordinarily temporal. And then, so the way that feeling in me sits is it feels like an awareness that this is just a very fragile game, you know, that, you know, like don't get over invested in this, because this life is brittle.
Yeah.
You know, like doesn't take much to discombobulate it. Doesn't take much for it to end. Treasure it, enjoy it, hold it lightly, and be ready. Just be aware that it ends, and when it ends, it ends. And you know, we can speculate. You know, theologies speculate about what happens after it ends. You know,
I mean, we could.
Good for you. All of us will. Here's the comforting thought: all of us will find out.
Yeah.
You know, no one will be left unaware of what happens after you die, because every single one of us will.
They're going to find out.
Yeah, all of us will find out.
Yeah,
that mystery will be revealed, and you will be completely aware of what happens after you die.
Yeah.
When you die.
Yeah,
which you will. And your heart just goes, yep, that's very much a part of the program.
Yeah,
we don't resist that. I don't fight that. You allow that. You become aware of that. You hold the fragility of life as a present reality, as opposed to something that you're trying to avoid. Don't talk to me about. Let's not talk about 0.5.
Yeah.
I don't like to talk about morbid things like death.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, you're healthy, you're strong, you're going to live a long time. Well, okay. Well, the lead singer of Midnight Oil died at 70 from pancreatic cancer just yesterday. Well, he didn't live forever. He would have had to have lent into, oh, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
dude, you are. Yeah. And then the news is, you know, our hearts are breaking at the loss of, oh, okay, maybe or maybe not. Like I remember when Mum left, when my mum died, I remember sitting with my mum. My sister had unfortunately left the room to take rest because she was exhausted. And I was just sitting with my mum, and I remember the last breath my mum breathed, sitting there with her when she left, and just going, that was a good life. That woman left nothing in the tank. She gave herself unequivocally to everyone. Like it was to be present with her was a delight because when she left, it felt so clean. You know, like you would never doubt that she loved you. Mm-hmm. She really lived from her heart. And I remember just sitting there just going, wow, I was there when she left this form, you know, and I just remember feeling, wow, that was special to witness that. Mm-hmm. And so in that regard, sort of death sort of doesn't loom as this thing that's stealing anything away. It is kind of like the full stop at the end of the story that goes, it's going to stop here. And that's going to bring meaning to everything. You know, it's going to bring substance to anything. It has to stop at some point. Mm-hmm. It's stopping here, dot. You're present for the dot. And you go, that's incredible. So I think it just, when you're living from your heart, it just readjusts your whole relationship with the finality of your own being, the finality of human life, the finality of all life, that all life will pass. The temporality, the fragility of it all.
The bliss of it all. Absence, presence, right?
Yeah, I think there's bliss. I think there's genuine bliss in it. Mm. If you can connect to your heart, you'll find that rhythm where I think there is genuine, this is clever. Like if I was a god, this would be a clever way to make life significant. How? By making sure that it has a full stop and that it ends at some point. Like, anyway, they're my 5 points.
Can we recap them?
Go for it.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to recap them.
Yeah, come on.
Maybe I can go backwards. Oh, no, first, you're not interested in performing roles.
Yeah. We lose the roles. Mm-hmm. Lose the interest in a performative life.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Have a giggle. Humour.
Yes, number 2. Was it humour?
Yeah.
So it'll be humorous. Yeah.
Tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
Humour. Number 3.
Number 3, presence.
Yeah, I think you
being present.
You are able to be present. There's a groundedness.
Yeah.
About not projecting in the future or not ruminating about the past, but just the heart just wants to be present for whoever's there in an uncontrived kind of way.
4 is nature.
Connected to nature. Mm-hmm. Seeing that nature has big rhythms and realizing that you are nature, not separate from it. 5.
5 is the full stop.
Yeah, 5 is something loosens around the perception and the place of death, where it begins to be something that nourishes the present life as opposed to terrifies the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks.
5 things from living from the heart.
That's it. Thanks for joining us for this one. Let us know your thoughts. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.
Talk soon. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Heart Riffing. If today's conversation resonated, you can find more of our work, including courses, mentoring, and workshops, at www.wayoftheheart.com.au or on our Instagram, Way of the Heart Official. We'd love to hear your thoughts, reflections, or questions, so please always feel free to message or comment. We look forward to seeing you next time.